There's no doubt that human beings have an influence on the climate. And there's no doubt that we're burning a lot of coal, oil, and natural gas, which releases a lot of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, so we probably are affecting the climate. But the question is how much? How sensitive is the climate to more carbon dioxide? And I think all the evidence is not very sensitive. The Kyoto Global Warming Treaty was negotiated in 1997. Carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere have gone up 5% since then, up to 390 parts per million, and yet temperatures have gone down since 1997. The global average temperature today is lower than it was in 1997. So I think we have a minimal impact as human beings have a minimal impact on the climate. There is certainly a huge amount of natural variability in the climate. The climate is either warming up or cooling down. Since about 1850, the world has been coming out of the Little Ice Age, and we have been warming up due to natural causes. By and large, that's been beneficial for human beings and for the planet. We have longer growing seasons, we have more biodiversity because of less cold weather in the northern, say, Canada, for example. And so I think largely the effects have been beneficial. Human beings have flourished more in the last 2 centuries than ever before. People are living longer, eating better, better health. And so I think the climate change that we have seen so far, the warming, has been beneficial.
We often hear that the polar ice caps are melting, and they're going to cause floods which devastate the Earth, with the land elements on the Earth. Are the polar ice caps melting? And if they are they melting to a degree that's going to cause flooding on the land surfaces?
Sea levels have been rising since the end of the last ice age, 12,000 years ago. They will continue rising, and part of that will be melting of Greenland and melting of the Antarctic ice sheet. But it's very slow. We saw maybe 8 inches of sea level rise in the 20th century. The current rate is maybe just very slightly higher than that. But, Al Gore says we've got to be prepared for 20 feet of sea level rise. Yes, I think we do, but we're talking about many thousands of years. We're not talking about 50 years or 100 years. In 100 years, the sea levels may be 8 to 10 to 12 inches higher than they are today. That's the kind of sea level rise that human beings can adapt to and can deal with. The fact is that we are now diverting a huge amount of the calories produced on our farms into fuel. So we are going back really to a pre-modern energy economy. At the time, before tractors, before mechanized agriculture, about 1/3 of the farmland in this country was devoted to providing hay for horses and mules. Now we're really going back to that. We're going back to devoting millions and millions of acres to providing fuel for our cars. And that is really a step backwards, because it means we're going to have to clear huge areas that have been going back to forests. We're going to have to get rid of wildlife habitat to clear that space to grow corn on. And then, as you say, people in Africa depend upon corn and wheat from the United States in order to have enough calories to stay alive. And when ethanol starts raising the price of corn, and then indirectly the price of wheat, a lot of people are finding it much more difficult to eat in the poorest countries in the world.
Excellent.